we are here. $90 video games now. We are at $90 video games with the most recent Mario Kart World reveal at the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal event, which otherwise I think would have been pretty good. If you're just talking about the console, I think the console looks relatively good. But $90 for a physical Mario Kart World and $80 for the digital edition is beyond insane. It's beyond greedy. And worst of all, we have now opened the floodgates. We have opened the floodgates for every other company spanning across the entire gaming industry to raise their prices to $80 and $90. And it wouldn't be that bad if it was just Mario Kart World, right? Mario Kart is probably not going to have microtransactions. There might be one or two DLCs that you can either buy separately or buy the $9,000 probably now deluxe edition of Mario Kart World to get with that edition. But the problem is other games. The problem is your Maddens, your FIFAs, your Call of Duties, your Ubisoft games. Pretty much 80% of AAA gaming out there at this point is now going to start feeling comfortable pricing their games at $80 or $90 and including microtransactions, obscene microtransactions in your games on top of that. And if you're somebody like a sports gamer, the only good sports games out there are the main ones that have the licenses. So, for example, if you want to play a good football game and you actually want to play the real players that exist in the real world, you're playing Madden. Every single year, you're now potentially going to have to buy an $80 or $90 Madden, plus all of the Ultimate Team stuff if you play that, which is all the microtransactions on top of it. It's the same thing for FIFA, and a lot of these gamers that play sports games are only sports gamers. They are getting crushed. This entire price raising is a net negative for consumers. It might be good for them to juice your pockets, but it's a net negative for the actual gamer, for the consumer. And this is why indie games right now are so damn important and are bigger than ever before within the gaming industry. Because number one, they're actually affordable. And number two, they're created to be a fun and good game with creativity and risk-taking and all of that put in them as well. They're not created to juice every dollar out of your pockets. And I cannot believe we've gotten here before GTA 6. Before the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, we were at $60 games for more than a decade. And already within the last few years, we're going to be going from $60 games up to $90. Again, before GTA 6, which everybody was kind of concerned was going to be $100. But now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's $120. And that's just the base edition. And if any game is actually going to be that much money, it should be GTA 6. They've had an insane amount of development time. The development costs going into that game are probably the highest that any game has ever costed, ever. Granted, I still don't think it should be $120. Absolutely not. But if any game should be more than the rest of them, it probably should be GTA 6. It sure as hell shouldn't be Mario Kart World, at least in my opinion. And that's coming from someone who loves Mario Kart. I have Mario Kart 8 and both DLCs that I play weekly with my girlfriend to this day. But $80 and $90 for the next Mario Kart when you're already spending $450 on this console. Granted, you can spend $500 and get this game with the console. Regardless, it just doesn't make sense. It's insane, and it is so greedy. But honestly, that's not even the only thing that I'm pissed about here. And again, I did like the actual reveal for the console-specific stuff. I thought there was a lot of cool things there, and I will get to that later in this video. But if you think you're going to be getting a tech demo free with this console, you're wrong. You're going to have to spend $450, and to get a tech demo, you still have to pay for that separately. Why? It is just greedy. Why? It does not make any sense. We got Astro's Playroom for the PlayStation 5. We didn't have to pay any more for that. Why are we paying for a tech demo here? And the biggest slap in the face, at least to me, someone who consistently has said Bloodborne is my favorite game of all time, someone who has been waiting for Sony to do anything with that IP for over a decade. I play this game every year for hundreds of hours as a tradition. And now we have Bloodborne at home. On the Switch. PvP, VE, multiplayer exclusive for the Switch 2. Called Duskbloods. If there's a game by From Software, and it has the name Blood in it, it's a Bloodborne game. I'm watching the trailer. I'm looking at Yharnam. And I'm going to have to spend $450, probably plus $80 to play Bloodborne. $530 to play something that very, 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 very closely resembles Bloodborne. It's been a bad day, bro. This has been a bad day for me. And maybe I should be thanking Nintendo and thanking From Software for looking at Sony, slapping them on the side of the head and saying, we're going to do it on our own. But Sony, I'm just more mad at you now. Because look what we have to do to play something that's close to Bloodborne instead of just getting a Bloodborne 2. Why can we not just get a Bloodborne 2 or a Bloodborne remaster? Please, it's the easiest cash grab you possibly could ever have. But aside from all those frustrations, pretty much anything that has a money tag in front of it is a frustration right now with the Switch 2. The console does look pretty good, at least in my opinion. It's got a bigger screen, in-dock version, you can play 4K 60 FPS. You have this game share feature that is basically like taking it back to the Nintendo DS. When you had the DS downloads, I used to do that at school all the time. I could bring it over, my Switch 2 over to a friend's house without having, or them having the game. We can play the same game in local play. That is awesome. You have this new game chat feature, which has been sorely needed. Granted, you do have to have Nintendo Online for it. We'll get to Nintendo Online in a second, but granted, that's a great feature. I don't have to pull out my phone and throw on headphones to talk to my friend on Discord while we're playing, Smash together or Mario Kart or Mario Party or whatever the case may be. And with that, you have a camera where you can actually have video chat while you're playing the games as well. And this video and voice chat is actually going to be instrumental in some games in terms of their mechanics if the game was made with those mechanics in mind. Awesome. The Switch 2 even has 256, I believe, gigabytes, which is 8 times more than the original Switch, which was sorely needed, hopefully, and I believe the games are just going to be more gigabytes now, but that's still a very big upgrade. They redid the game store. The Joy-Cons are actually going to have like a mouse function on them. All of this is super in line with the philosophy of Nintendo gaming, and I absolutely love it. The console is so unique from anything else out there, and they take these risks that I think usually work out for Nintendo in a lot of ways. And you still have the same functionality as the first one, but probably even better. You have the stand where you can play just on the little Switch if you want to take it somewhere. You can obviously play it handheld, or you can put it in the dock. The Joy-Cons are magnetized and they're actually bigger, which is great for someone like me who has these giant 6'4" hands. I absolutely love my Switch, and I'm probably going to absolutely love my Switch 2 as well. And that's not even to mention some of the games that are going to be coming at launch or soon after. You're going to be getting things like that Donkey Kong Bonanza game that they announced. That looks great. You're also going to be getting, obviously, Mario Kart World. You're going to be getting that Duskbloods game. You're going to be getting Metroid Prime 4 eventually. Even the new Pokemon. And that's not to mention 46 third-party games coming at launch or very soon after, which is absolutely amazing. And some of these games include games like Hades 2, for example, or Elden Ring. There's also backwards compatibility here from all the previous Switch games, which was expected, but still nice to see. Even GameCube games are coming to Nintendo Switch for the first time with a brand new Nintendo X GameCube controller to play these games with. Hell yeah. They've even kind of revamped Nintendo Online with an even bigger tier subscription, of course, but hopefully they just fix the servers for this first. But you are going to be getting with the base version of Nintendo Online, NES library, SNES library, and the Game Boy library, and full access to this for Switch Online. Now, you're also, if you pay a higher tier, going to be able to get access to N64 games, Game Boy Advance games, Sega Genesis games, and the GameCube games. That's huge. It's almost like taking something out of PlayStation or what Xbox is doing with Game Pass. So like I mentioned, there's a lot of great things here, but anything with a dollar sign in front of it, is probably not good, and it is probably a little bit too greedy in my personal opinion. Now, I would like to hear down below in the comments, what do you think about the $80, $90 for the physical Mario Kart World? What do you guys think about not even being able to have the tech demo for free with this $450 console? If you're a Bloodborne fan like me, what do you think about Bloodborne at home? Duskbloods. Do you feel like it's a slap in the face, or do you think Nintendo and FromSoft saved us from never getting anything that resembled Bloodborne ever again? Let me know down in the comments. If you are a new viewer here and you liked what you see, please like and subscribe. And for my returning viewers, thank you guys for the support. Please like the video if you like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!